What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another episode of the 5 takeaways, where we're going to take a look at the 4-0 battering of Aston Villa and see what 5 things we can take away from the game. And let's start off with the first takeaway, and that is heroic Hugo.
Yeah, and what a performance Hugo Lloris put in, especially in the first half for us yesterday. He made a string of really important and impressive saves to keep Spurs in the lead, because, you know, we took the lead after 3 minutes, but under the cosh pretty much from then on. Lloris's 7 saves in the opening 45 minutes yesterday is the most of any goalkeeper in any first half of any Premier League game since Opta kept records. So that's very, very impressive.
Taking records?
2006. So it's very impressive from Hugo Lloris, and I thought it was a marvellous display. And it wasn't just the saves, it was also, you know, claiming things from corners and free kicks and coming for things. That was also really important. And look, he's coming every time he makes a mistake. He's coming for a lot of criticism. He made one last week against Newcastle, and he responded with that performance yesterday.
Yeah, and I think it's important, you know, to note those kind of things as well, because he comes under a lot of criticism when he does make those mistakes. So it's important to give him as much praise as we can when he puts in a performance like that. Not only just that performance like that, but a record performance as well in terms of most saves by a Tottenham goalkeeper ever in a first half. So it's important, isn't it, to give him his dues.
And it's important. It's also important to know how impressive it is at his age to perform as he is. I know keepers last longer, but you know, he's older than Joe Hart, isn't he? Pretty sure.
Is that right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's older than Joe. He's Lloris is what, 36, and Joe Hart must be what, 35.
Joe Hart is 34.
34, so he's 2 years older than Joe Hart. And, you know, Nuno said he was finished and he couldn't play.
Lloris is 35.
Yeah, so he's a year older than Hart, and he's still, you know, playing at such a high level. Very impressive.
Yeah, it's mad. Well, like Hugo turned 30, yeah. I mean, I think they would have been in the same school year because Joe Hart turns 35 in like next week.
Next week?
Yeah.
He's still older than Joe Hart.
Yeah, just about, yeah.
No, but he's still older.
I get your point. No, yeah, you're completely right there. But yeah, it's very impressive with Hugo. And this is the thing that I keep saying, like, how can you ever sign a goalkeeper in this current market without spending 50, 60 million for someone that's better than Hugo Lloris?
Yeah, it's going to be difficult.
Let's move on to the second takeaway, and that is perfect SONNY.
And yeah, what a hat-trick he scored yesterday. Obviously, all 3 goals, clinical finishes, 2 off the post, taking his tally for the season to 17 goals. But he scored with every shot he had. 3 shots, 3 goals. He completed every single take-on he attempted as well. Had a few key passes. It was an exceptional display from SONNY of ruthless clinical finishing. Like, obviously, it's a bit like at the beginning of last season when people he was doing all those amazing finishes, and you were like, yo, it's not sustainable. You know, he's probably going through one of those periods right now where everything he touches is going in the back of the net. But you can't take that away from him. And look, he's got a shot at the golden boot now, and it was a near perfect. It was pretty much perfect display from SONNY yesterday.
If you would have said to anyone last week that that you would put SONNY and golden boot in the same question, they'd laugh you out the room, literally. They can't do that now. Only 3 goals behind Mo Salah, and he's not exactly on the biggest goal-scoring form of his life right now as well. So to put him in that conversation at this point of the season is absolutely praise of the highest order. He's never been put in that conversation before. He's now equaled his best tally ever for Tottenham, and he's still got 7 games to go to beat that, which he most definitely will. But the game yesterday, like you say, absolute clinical best. 2 of those efforts was on the inside of the post, absolutely unstoppable. The other one is his forte, isn't it? Bearing down on goal. You knew exactly what he was going to do, and you knew exactly that it was going to go in the back of the net. So as absolutely perfect display from Heung-min Son yesterday, and hopefully that will shut some of his doubters out.
Yeah, definitely. Well, yeah.
Let's move on to the third takeaway, and that is a clinical Spurs.
So Spurs yesterday scored 4 goals from 5 shots on target, and you might think that's just that's pretty ridiculous, but it's a one-off game. But if you take our last 3 games, we've scored 12 goals from 15 shots on target.
Wow.
So it's ridiculous. Like, we really are scoring with nearly every shot at the moment, and it's whether it's sustainable or not is for people to decide. But we are being extremely clinical at the moment whenever we get a chance, and we are making really good openings and good opportunities. And I guess when you make good opportunities and you have the likes of Kane and Son, they're always likely to end up in the back of the net. But yeah, we are being super clinical right now.
Absolutely. Like you say, that those stats are absolutely unbelievable. 5 shots on target yesterday, 4 goals, 6 shots on target against Newcastle, 5 goals. It's unbelievable, the finishing on show at the moment, and hopefully it continues from now until the end of the season, because the players that we've got finishing off these chances, Heung-min Son, Harry Kane, Dejan Kulusevski, they are absolutely on fire at the moment, and I'm loving everything I'm seeing from them at the moment. 4th takeaway, and that is live and direct.
Yeah, so Tottenham yesterday, it's no secret, yesterday we were struggling with Villa's press and their aggression. And we were being pressed really high, really aggressively, really tightly. We weren't able to make a pass. It was actually, looking at the stats, it was the most we've been pressed in our own defensive third this whole season. No one's pressed us more than Villa in that game in terms of the amount of pressures in our own defensive third. And I think we had to change it up. Conte had a problem which we weren't solving, and I think he did that in the second half. The 2 goals we scored were both direct into Harry Kane, both them brilliant flick-ons and obviously clinical finishes. But I think that was definitely an instruction, because it was clear in the first half, every time we got a goal kick or a free kick or something, we were playing it around the back. We didn't go long too many times. Obviously we did for the first goal, but very few times would we going long. And I think it was very much a deliberate ploy from Conte. Change it up in the second half, go more direct, see what the defenders are like when you test their aerial ability, and Kane tested it and found them wanting, and it was a brilliant piece of tactical play. And I think Kane as well, 2 brilliant headers with 2 brilliant assists, which obviously got us to victory.
Yeah, and you got to give credit to Antonio Conte for noticing the flaws and changing it and winning us the game ultimately. The defence did really well in terms of switching that up as well, in terms of distributing the ball over the top, and that's what really won us the game. So credit to Conte, credit to the players on the pitch for demonstrating what Conte was telling them at halftime as well. So great stuff. And last but not least, the 5th and final takeaway, and that is taking advantage.
Yeah, and look, no secret, Man United and Arsenal damaging defeats yesterday. Man United 1-0 away at Everton, Arsenal 2-1 at home to Brighton. And it was up to Spurs to take full advantage of those results. And previously we've been guilty of not taking full advantage when opportunities present us. And Conte said in his press conference that a mid-table team or an average team will look at those results and say, okay, even if we lose, we haven't lost any ground. But he says a top team says they lost, we have to win now. And that's exactly what we did yesterday. And we've really put ourselves in a very
smell the blood of your opponents.
Exactly. And what a strong position we're in 3 points ahead, even though Arsenal have a game in hand, with their very difficult fixtures coming up. It's going to be very difficult for them to keep pace with us if we continue with this kind of form. We just got to make sure we take this mentality into the next few games and get the job over the line. But right now, as things stand, the top 4 race is completely flipped on its head over the past 2 games. And Tottenham are now in pole position. Yeah,
we're in pole position. We're in the driving seat, and that is all down to Antonio Conte and the way he's galvanised this team. He got the poisonous atmospheres out in January. He brought in top quality talent in terms of Kulusevski and Bentancur that has really reformed this squad. It seems as though now everyone is singing off the same hymn sheet. Everyone is together. And it's brilliant stuff. It's brilliant stuff. And we are really now in the driving seat in this top 4. Now we need to go out there and finish a job over the next 7 games.
With United losing 6 points behind now, same games played, but are you still looking at them as a threat?
Yeah, I am, just in case, because if we lose 1 game, anything can happen. Anything can spiral from there. We've seen it with this Tottenham side before, that once one thing goes wrong, a lot of things go wrong. I know Antonio's here now, so it is a bit different, but you're still always going to have those reservations as a Spurs fan. So if one thing goes wrong, let's say in the next game against Brighton, let's say we don't win that and Harry Kane gets injured, everything's up in the air.
Yeah, but we need to lose 2 and they need to go on a run of wins.
I know that, but if we lose and United get some sort of hope from somewhere, you never know, it can flip.
All right.
But having said that, I'm not backing it to flip. I think that we will get the job done, but it's football and things can change very quickly.
As we've just seen.
Exactly. If it goes one way very quickly, it can easily go the other way very quickly.
Fair enough.
So that is our 5 takeaways from the game yesterday. 4-0 against Aston Villa. Let me know in the comment section below what your takeaways are and what you thought of our takeaways. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.